Here's your news for December 27, 2019. We're kicking off with some huge news from WWE Today, as for the first time in years, a title change has occurred at one of the company's untelevised live events. During last night's event in Madison Square Garden, Rey Mysterio lost the United States Championship to Andrade, giving El Idolo his first taste of gold on the main roster. A former NXT champion, Andrade moved to the main roster in May 2018, being called up to SmackDown, and was drafted to Raw earlier this year. This wasn't even the only title change that occurred inside the world's most famous arena, as during the show, R-Truth lost the 24/7 championship to Samir Singh, who was quickly pinned by his own brother Sunil before Truth regained the green and gold championship title. Fans will have to wait and see where the title reign of the new United States champion goes from here, but as the WWE prepares to enter a new decade, as well as rumors of a new design for the Patriotic Championship, Andrade's reign may prove to be one of the most significant reigns in years. It's interesting that Andrade will most likely be ending the decade as the United States champion, as he wasn't even part of the company when the 2010s began. This week, the WWE looked back at the past 10 years by compiling its top 10 superstars of the past 10 years, which, unsurprisingly, got a lot of fans talking online. This list, which was in no particular order, saw both Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins make the cut after their main roster debut at Survivor Series 2012, but their fellow Shield brother Dean Ambrose didn't make the cut. Though he hasn't wrestled in nearly a year, John Cena also made the list, and so did Sheamus, who actually entered the decade during the first of 4 reigns as WWE World Champion. After returning on the Raw after WrestleMania 28, Brock Lesnar's dominance in combined 5 reigns as World Champion earned him a spot on the list, while Becky Lynch, who won the first ever women's main event of WrestleMania, was the only female presence in the group. After being a mainstay of the mid-card, the WWE title reign of Kofi Kingston this year helped cement his spot, while Daniel Bryan's roller coaster decade, which included his February 2010 debut, being fired and rehired that same year, becoming world champion, retiring in 2016, and finally being allowed to return in 2018, guaranteed his spot. With The Miz and Randy Orton rounding off the top 10 list, we can't help but wonder how many of these stars will still be wrestling 10 years from now, and just who exactly will be part of the top 10 list of the 2020s. One name that fans shouldn't expect to see on any top 10 lists is David Arquette, as the former WCW World Heavyweight Champion still hasn't been forgiven by fans for his huge title win in 2000. To be fair to Arquette, the Scream actor knew this title change was a bad idea, but has since tried to make amends by properly learning to wrestle and returning to the industry. This week, the actor-turned-wrestler spoke with TMZ Sports, and when asked about his thoughts on Batista going into next year's Hall of Fame, was full of praise for the animal. He said, "Oh yeah, he deserves it. He's amazing. Although I did make fun of him at WrestleMania. I said, 'You have worse tattoos than me.' But his tattoo game is getting better. I see he's got some new work going. I'm just ribbing him anyway. That's almost as bad as Brock Lesnar." While Arquette may be an actor who has turned to wrestling, Batista is a wrestler who has now made it big in Hollywood. And with the Guardians of the Galaxy star now retired from the ring, fans can expect the animal to appear in even more blockbuster roles. We're looking ahead to the Royal Rumble now, and though we've previously reported on plans for WWE Champion Brock Lesnar, it seems the Beast may be having an easy night at the pay-per-view. Yesterday, we covered rumors that Lesnar will defend his WWE Championship against either Cain Velasquez, Randy Orton, or Kevin Owens, but according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, fans may have to wait a lot longer to see the title change hands. In his latest report, Dave Meltzer writes that there's no guarantee that the rumored Lesnar match at the Rumble will be for the title, saying, "Brock Lesnar's next match will be on the show. We haven't been told outright if it's a WWE title match, but the other option is the Rumble, and WWE hasn't put the champ in the Rumble in years." As the winner of the 2003 Royal Rumble match, Lesnar knows what it takes to win, and if he was to enter and win, could find himself facing the Universal Champion at WrestleMania. That said, it's unlikely WWE would be able to pull this off, as fans are already vocal about the part-time Lesnar keeping the WWE Championship off-screen for months at a time. So taking both the WWE and Universal titles away definitely would not be best for business. While fans may not be seeing the WWE Champion until the end of next month, tonight's edition of SmackDown on Fox does have a lot for fans to tune in for. In a tweet, the company revealed that this week's post-Christmas edition of the Blue Brand will feature the return of A Moment of Bliss, the talk show segment hosted by Alexa Bliss while the goddess was unable to compete due to injuries. Tonight, Bliss will be joined by Lacey Evans, who has been embroiled in a feud with Sasha Banks, which recently got personal after the boss involved the sassy Southern Belle's daughter into the feud. This will also be the first edition of A Moment of Bliss since SmackDown moved to Fox in early October, and if the history of the show is anything to go by, it shouldn't take long for Evans to be confronted by Banks, who will no doubt be flanked by SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley. It's highly likely that Evans and Banks will cross paths on tonight's show, but two superstars who fans probably won't see face off for quite some time is Roman Reigns and the Universal Champion, The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. Despite being a former Universal Champion, Reigns hasn't received a shot at the title since returning from his leukemia scare in February this year, and this has been for the best, as fans no longer hate the big dog, who was criticized for years for constantly being in the world title picture. On the latest episode of Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer discussed the plans for WrestleMania 36, and though the veteran wrestling analyst couldn't confirm anything, he did say a match between The Fiend and the big dog was likely. Meltzer went on to explain that this is why the pair have been kept separate despite being both huge stars on SmackDown, as Wyatt has feuded with the likes of Seth Rollins, The Miz, and Daniel Bryan, while Reigns has been focused in his feud with King Corbin. With that said, this doesn't mean the Mania match is guaranteed, as The Fiend could indeed end up facing Brock Lesnar at the Show of Shows, and the current odds-on favorite is for Roman to face his cousin The Rock at the Showcase of the Immortals. Despite the Brahma Bull confirming his retirement earlier this year, fans know that anything can happen in WWE. And with how giving the Great One is, it wouldn't be too surprising for The Rock to give his own relation the biggest win of his wrestling career on the grandest stage of them all. We're looking at All Elite Wrestling next, as though the company didn't have a Christmas Day edition of Dynamite this week, next week's show will have plenty for fans to see. This week, the company confirmed that former ECW World Champion Taz will be appearing on Dynamite, and this follows on from the Human Suplex Machine joining the commentary desk for AEW Dark back in October. This week's New Year's Day edition of Dynamite will also feature Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks team up to face the Lucha Brothers in Pac, AEW Women's Champion Riho versus Chris Statlander, as well as Cody Rhodes looking to build momentum to his grudge match with MJF as he'll take on Darby Allin. Back to WWE now, and this week, Corey Graves sat down for his After the Bell podcast with arguably the two biggest stars he's had on his show to date, D-Generation X. Represented by Triple H and Shawn Michaels, the two troublemakers are no stranger to controversy. And with the equally controversial Corey Graves asking the questions, the three had plenty to say about the state of WWE and wrestling as a whole in 2019. During the show, Graves asked the game about NXT UK and how several British promotions, such as Wrestle Circus, Defiant, and Pro Wrestling Chaos, are having to close their doors. Many fans have argued that these closures are due to the WWE in the game, as while the company does allow some NXT UK stars to appear sporadically outside the company, most of the top talent across the pond are conscripted to appear for NXT UK alone. In response, Triple H admitted that there was an issue with many UK wrestling companies closing down, but didn't blame WWE for this, saying, "Yes, some of these indies are going to go away. The ones that are going to go away are the ones that were paying you $25 when they promised you $75. The King of Kings later said that many promotions that were closing down didn't care about the wrestlers they booked in the first place, and also claimed that following the arrival of NXT UK, those companies that are still standing have taken more care to look after their own roster. Whether the game's claims are true or not is unclear, but it seems for now, NXT UK will remain to be the biggest player in the British wrestling game, while the WWE also looks to expand its NXT brand to other countries, such as Japan, in the coming years. Speaking of promotions going out of business, we're looking at WCW next. As though the company may have been dead and buried for nearly 20 years now, the historic promotion still finds a way to make headlines. This week, former WCW and Universal Champion Goldberg spoke about his time in the company with Inside the Ropes, and even spoke about the unfortunate incident at Starrcade 1999, where a swift kick by the powerhouse led to Bret Hart being forced to retire from the ring. Saying that the kick was something from his career he wishes he could take back, Goldberg has described the Hitman as an idol of his, and hates that the pair's respective careers have been linked in this way. The former Universal Champion also took time to address the rumors that have emerged since the event, as fans, and at times Bret himself, have claimed that Goldberg intended to injure the Canadian. Rejecting these rumors, Goldberg claimed that the allegations that he wanted to hurt Bret were completely false, and gave the ominous warning, "If I really wanted to hurt the guy, he would have never gotten up." It's a real shame that Bret was never able to compete at the same level he once did before the kick at Starrcade, but this just goes to prove that accidents can happen to anyone in wrestling, even the excellence of execution. And we're ending today's news with some big updates from AEW, as the new company has had a truly epic first year. This week, AEW Vice President Cody Rhodes sat down for a Twitter Q&A and gave some of his plans for the company over the next 12 months. In the interview, the former NWA World Champion revealed that he hopes to establish a 4-big pay-per-view structure much like the WWE's current schedule, that has the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. When asked if there were any plans for the company to tour outside the United States, Rhodes said that there was nothing in place yet, but did say he would love to do a European tour with the roster, many of whom haven't competed overseas. In particular, Rhodes mentioned how much he enjoyed wrestling in Germany back when he was a part of WWE, and said he wanted the entire AEW crew to experience it, hopefully in the not-so-distant future. Of course, AEW still has a lot of work to do before they're compared to be as big as WWE, but after a monumental first year, which has seen huge shows, great matches, and shocking debuts, the promotion is hoping for the same level of success in the new decade. Well, that's all the news we have for you today. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. If you're looking for more content, you can follow us on Twitter, and as always, thanks for watching.